Right now, WOR radio host Mark Simone and Gina Loudon, former Trump campaign surrogate and a member of President Trump's Media Advisory Board. So good to see you both tonight. Mark, you're in studio, so I'll start with you. A lot of news going on these days, specifically when it comes to our border and the promise of National Guard troops now heading in that direction. Is that, in fact, what we need right now?
Absolutely. You know, obviously most of these illegals tend to be Democrats. Democrats have said, if you won't vote for us, we'll import people who do, and that's the whole idea of the open border. If they were conservatives, if these illegals tended to be Republicans, you'd see Chuck Schumer and Nancy Pelosi right down there with a shovel building that wall themselves. Mexico wouldn't have to pay for it. The DNC would pay for it.
So it's all political in your view?
Totally
Absolutely political. You agree with that, Gina?
100%, Trish. And I think it's almost, you know, the Democrats have really exposed themselves at a certain point where, you know, the rest of America is looking at them while they're kind of saying, oh, we want to do this for benevolent reasons. This is all about taking care of people who need to come across our borders. It's not, and America doesn't see it that way anymore, Trish. What America sees is a bunch of people looking like Gollum in the ring, just going, my precious, they just want those votes so bad. And the fact that they turned down DACA, the president's offer for DACA, for a path to citizenship for dreamers, as the Democrats like to refer to them, two times, Trish. This tells us everything we know about where the hearts of the Democrats really are.
It certainly seems as though they have deserted those dreamer kids, Mark. I mean, they had an opportunity for a deal for them. By the way, I thought it was a tremendously generous deal because you're talking about not 700, 800,000, but 2 million people that would have been given. Not just, they would have been given citizenship, actual citizenship here in the United States, and the Democrats won't even go for that?
They don't want it because they want it as an election issue in November. They're saving it for that.
Or maybe because then the president would be seen as some kind of savior for the immigrant population, and that's their territory, their turf? Absolutely,
but they need it in November to run on. They don't have any policies. They need that. They need the gunfight. That's their two issues now.
You know, it frustrates me, Gina, because certainly I love policy, and I love economic policy, and I think these are the things that are really going to matter. But I think too often politicians, especially ones like we're seeing right now on the left, they don't have enough policy chops to be able to actually discuss that. So what do they resort to? The circus. I mean, effectively the circus, and that's what it's come down to.
It really has come down to that. And I think that the Republicans are probably laughing all the way into the midterms because just like we have a president that no one ever predicted, that came out of nowhere and created a whole new playbook, I believe the midterms might look a little bit the same way because, as you said, the Democrats have no issues to run on. They have very few candidates that look good. And even the candidates who are winning, for example, Connor Lamb, are running on President Trump's coattails. We have never seen a cycle like this, Trish. I don't think it's very easily predicted, but if there is anything we can predict, it's that it might not go the way midterms have traditionally gone. I think we can probably plan on that.
I think, Mark, Americans are willing to forgive him a lot of things. I mean, I talked to a friend down south recently, very religious, who said, look, I'm not electing a preacher. I'm electing a CEO to run the country in the best possible way for our economy and our security. And there's a distinction there that I think a lot of Americans have been able to make. So the Democrats, as much as they pound on, oh, he's a racist, he's a, misogynist, you name it, that's all they have right now. Because, when you're saying that tax cuts of $1,000 or $1,500 extra in your pockets is nothing but crumbs, you clearly aren't relating on any kind of policy economic issues, Mark.
He's the only guy that's ever been accused of hating immigrants while married to an immigrant. That's never happened before.
Wow. All right, we're going to end it on that note. It's so good to see you both. Gina, thank you. Mark, thank you. Thank you so much for tuning in.